So this one is kind of a special video because when I did the Siouxsie and the Banshees top 5 in a dud, or we had loads of comments, and I think some fans are quite angry that we didn't put an album in of Siouxsie and the Banshees, Juju. I can quite honestly say the reason why I didn't put Juju in there is because I couldn't find the vinyl. And it would have been in my top 5, so I just had to kind of make up that track, so move everything up by a slot. It's because I could not find the vinyl, but I've since bought it, and I thought, you know what, I've had loads of comments going, I can't believe you didn't mention Juju, Juju's the best album, not sure people would agree with it, and so that's good, it's getting a debate going. I've never ever said Juju was a rubbish album. I think it's an incredible album, so because of that I'm going to do a completely new video just all about Juju from Siouxsie and the Banshees, because I have now managed to find a copy. Now, Juju from Siouxsie and the Banshees is the 4th studio album, and it was released in 1981, June 1981. It had 2 singles from it on Polydor Records, Arabian Nights and Spellbound. So, I mean, those 2 are probably the most iconic tracks, bar kind of things like Happy House. But those are the 2 singles that were released from this album. And it was released with great acclaim because the previous album, Kaleidoscope, was very kind of, they were kind of dabbling kind of electronic. This album went straight back to, all the guitar work with John Miguel on guitar. Praise for his guitar playing was kind of unique, very jangly, very kind of spiky, his kind of playing, and it was really kind of relevant on this album. And Siouxsie's vocal delivery, I think she'd really kind of learned how to kind of deliver, and she knew her kind of vocal range, and she knew where she wanted to go with her voice. And here is the first kind of incarnation of that. Even though her vocals have always been strong, the tracks have always been great, I think Juju was a really good kind of gelling of vocal delivery with John's kind of guitar playing, and also Budgie on drums, and Steve Severin doing his thing. It was such an iconic formation of the band at a particular time. So it reached number 7 in the UK, which I'm quite surprised about because the singles did do really well. So I'm quite surprised it didn't reach any higher. I would have definitely called this a number 1 album. Now, if I was to place this in my top 5, this probably would have been 2 or 1, without a doubt. This album, it's a really good album. Yeah, I mean, there's not much more to say about this. The sleeve itself, I always thought was kind of freaky, and it was a picture of an African statue that they found in a market in London. So they just decided to kind of use that for the sleeve, and it kind of works. And here we have the sleeve here. So it's a classic sleeve. I don't know what these are. These are kind of torn up, whatever it is, but this is the statue here. The back exactly the same. It does suit. It really does suit the actual music on here. Very dark, very kind of stabby. It's such a good album. Arabian Nights and things like Spellbound. The production on this album is incredible. The production on her vocals just incredible. The structure of the songs, the melodies, everything on it. It's a really, really strong album. Definitely the strongest from, I'll say, Siouxsie and the Banshees. Siouxsie played guitar on one of the tracks as well for the first time, which I didn't know, and I cannot remember what track it is. I see Sin in My Heart. So Sin in My Heart has got Siouxsie playing guitar on that particular track, which is quite interesting because I do like the guitar playing on that, and obviously John's going to be on there somewhere, but Sin in My Heart has Siouxsie play guitar, which is great. So she learned how to play guitar for this album. Other tracks on here, I mean, you've got Spellbound, Arabian Nights, Halloween, I mean, what a track. Sin in My Heart, Head Cut. I've got to say, Head Cut is probably my favourite track on this album. Voodoo Dolly, Into the Light, every track on here is strong. There's not one album filler on here. I've got to say that, and that's why I'm surprised it didn't get any higher. Number 7 in the UK charts. It should have hit number 1, this album. The sleeves are great. The inside sleeve, again, it's kind of me. I would call it kind of typical Siouxsie and the Banshees. So, not much going on. Names of the band, pictures of the band, really kind of iconic kind of photos of the band as well. On the back, you've got your song titles and also your lyrics as well. So if you want to sing along to Seasons of Banshees, here we have it. I'm reading some of the lyrics. I mean, they're so good. I mean, oh God, I mean, Headcut on here is upside down. Really weird. But it's lyrically, I mean, they were way ahead of their time. And like, you know, how on earth do you kind of write lyrics? Like, where does this come from? But lyrically, it's strong as well. I mean, look at Spellbound. I mean, look at the other single from this, Arabian Nights. I mean, it's like, who can write that? Brilliant. The vinyl itself is just a straightforward kind of black vinyl with, you know, text on there. This is the reissue one because obviously I'd lost my original, and they've kept it exactly the same. The vinyl does feel a lot thicker and a lot kind of durable, should I say. And it's nice having, because I do remember my copy was battered. I think it got wet at one point in the garage or something. It did get wet, so the sleeve was a bit crumbly. So I did find this repress. And I think it's quite recent as well. This got repressed. It's got the little sticker on the back as well, and it's sealed. You can find a newer copy of this because this has been around quite a long time. If you haven't played it to death, as I do all my records, you probably noticed some of my records over time have been a bit battered. But hey, they tell a story. So that was the video, all about Siouxsie and the Banshees' Juju album. Let me know your thoughts. What do you think of this album? What's your standout track? I'd love to know that. My standout track on this, other than the two singles, is Headcut. Okay, do you agree? Great track. Yeah, let's get a debate going on this album, and let me know if you're happy now that I've done Juju, the album. Okay, but thank you very much, and check back in for some more great videos on the way. Thank you very much.